Welcome to Winding Down, a show where we relax and discuss controversial and interesting topics. I'm joined today by my lovely co-host, Uzam.
Hi guys, hi VK. We are back again. It's Winding Down, guys, with another amazing episode. Stay tuned.
So today we are joined by Clare Louis and Pearl Mthembu, Mthembu Mvelas. And welcome, ladies, to Winding Down. With our show, basically what we normally do is that, as tradition, we enjoy a topic over a glass of wine. So, Zama, please do the honors that side, and then Nami this side, I'll do the same thing. Guys, as I had mentioned, Uguti, we are joined today by these lovely two ladies, Clare and Pearl, from Animators. We're just going to talk about your interest in animation because it's something that we find very interesting, that in Durban there isn't anything like that, or wasn't until you guys actually came into. I don't know whether is it the first of many, or is it just you guys that in fact have?
It's the first that's female owned and female driven, yes.
Oh, absolutely. Look, as far as I know, because I was away, I was traveling for a long time. And when I came back to South Africa, I came to Durban and there really wasn't anything. Yeah, so I had to go to Joburg, I had to go back to Johannesburg, and I had to study, I had to even go to varsity because there wasn't even any animation schools here. Nothing at all.
I think before we get into the integrities, we'd just like to know more about you on a personal level. Yeah, before we dive right into it. So tell us about yourself. Who is Clare Louis? Who is Pearl Mthembu? And basically your journey in general.
I would say I'm definitely more grounded, more focused, and definitely more focused on building this animation studio. Finish off my thesis so I could get my master's degree in 3D animation.
Let's get to you, Pearl. Who is Pearl?
I'm Pearl Mthembu. I'm originally from Johannesburg in Soweto. I'm a 3D production supervisor at Animators Studios. I'm basically mentoring like a group of graduates that just graduated at UKZN, and we're basically like welcoming them into this industry of animation.
I'm actually quite curious about how you guys got to work together. She says she's from Joburg. In fact, I've always been under the impression that you're in fact from.
No, originally from Johannesburg and relocating, in the process of actually relocating permanently.
Okay, so you're still based that side?
Well, family, home, and everybody is in Joburg. Well, I managed to move my son here, so I'm like in the process of becoming a Durbanite.
Every Friday afternoon, this company would have like drinks, and you just start talking. You just start talking to the person. We were the only two females of color there.
How long ago was this?
But that wasn't a factor.
Honestly, it was a factor. Being female and of color as well. Somewhat like there would be this, it happens. I mean, it's an industry that is obviously dominated by a certain, how do you call it? Nation?
People of color.
People of color, sorry. And obviously male dominated as well. So obviously to just be there, and when you see another female that's sort of like trying to make it through there, you sort of mentor each other. So that's basically how it started. We would like mentor each other throughout this whole, her whole internship and throughout my whole internship as well. I would speak my frustrations to her about how the industry is like, cutthroat and whatnot. And she said, no, carry on, she'd still be supportive. And until she decided she was to open her own company, and I didn't think twice. I was like, yes.
Actually, talking about that, what inspired you to want to even do that? Start I mean, as you said, it's a space that is very white male dominated, if we have to be blunt about it. And then as a woman of color, you actually then decided, this is what I want to do.
It wasn't even an inspiration, it was a conversation. When I came back to South Africa, I finished my master's in 3D animation and visual effects at Wits University. And on the day I finished, handed in my thesis, I ended up having an interview with a company in Johannesburg, and the owner is a guy from Kenya, and he told me something that I'll never forget in that interview. And that's when I told you. He said, "If you've got the money, everyone else got the time." So he said he'll teach me. He said, he asked me, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "I want to make an animated TV series." And he said, "Look, I can teach you how to get the money for that and then get everybody together. But that's what you need to understand." Yeah. And that was this journey. I still thought I'm going to be this animator and this artist, and it's going to be amazing and wonderful. Oh, no. But to be a producer is what I needed to learn.
To learn, yeah. And you decided to actually open one in Durban.
Welcome back, guys. We haven't forgotten about you. We are still deep in the conversation with Claire and Pearl. So, Pearl, I want you to tell me more about your passion to create African-inspired stories. So where do you see the future of animation in Africa holistically?
Well, basically, at the moment, everyone has stories to tell. There's lots of stories that are coming out of like Africa as a whole. And I remember just yesterday, I was looking for a tutorial on something that I needed to do, and some of the tutorials, literally, because we use now a software, an open source software called Blender. Most of them, I could hear the accents. I'm like, ooh, African brother. Yeah. And I could hear other accents. I'm like, ooh, African sister. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of like producing and productions that are being produced like a lot, Claire would know a lot about it because I think she's been in that space where she's interacted with other African brothers and sisters.
So you're happy and there's hope for animation in Africa.
I would rather travel Africa than go to Europe for animation.
And the US.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Another question that I wanted to ask you, Claire, specifically now that you have a studio that's running and you've got interns that you have on your program, do you find that there are any challenges with female animators in terms of balance? Who do you have more?
At the moment, we are almost at 80% male, which really worries me because one of the things I feel very strongly about being a member of Women in Animation, it's an international organization. Okay. Something I never, ever thought would happen is having to look for female animators. It's really difficult to find animators who are experienced enough. I'm finding that art as a profession, anything art-based,
is not understood.
Not even understood, it's discouraged by the families. Of these females. So yes, it has happened. We have had females who have finished an honors in 3D animation, and when they came to work for me, they weren't even there for a week, and they were told by their families.
Welcome back, guys. We haven't forgotten about you. We're still in this very interesting conversation with Pearl and Claire, who are actually filling us in on the stereotypes of what's happening actually within the animation industry.
Yeah.
As African Black female animator in our industry, I just witnessed a lot of, sometimes people do discriminate, but it's not their fault. It's almost like because it's a stereotype, it's expected. When someone sees, let's say you see a Black female, like this other company I used to work with, they would almost assume that it's either I'm a cleaner or, you know what I'm saying, or I'm an intern. If not a cleaner, intern. Little did they know, some of them, that I'm probably their supervisor or, something like that because of my skin color, obviously. But it's a stereotype that comes with, I don't know, it's our country. There's nothing you can do to change it. But I think what I did for myself to change it was that I sort of played in a fair way almost, that if I have to prove myself 3 times or 4 times more than you know, the person that's
You'll do
expected
it,
to deliver. I
yeah.
would do it because it comes with the package. It's part of the
Yeah,
package. It's
yeah.
like I can't change it. Like eventually you get seen as part of the team. Like it happened because I was that much of a fighter. So I think that's what I can say about.
And I think what
the
you're saying now
stereotypes.
is what most Black people always say, that we always have to prove ourselves. So
Yes.
you have to work 10 times more than
Yeah.
someone else of color.
as
Every time
Black
you walk
people.
into exactly
Yeah.
By
Black
now,
people.
black and female.
And female,
It's even like triple
It's
the challenge.
I think it's up to the spirit of the person yourself. It's like you yourself have to see yourself beyond color now. It's like you have to see yourself as the skill that you are. Because if you are going to take that as whatever the other person is seeing, and you're gonna
gonna
put
challenge
it
you.
in your energy as well, it's just gonna mess things up for you as well. So just don't accept it as part of your energy, and then be what you are, like the
So
skill
look
that you
beyond
have.
color lines,
Yes.
basically. Just do
So,
what you actually have to
To
do,
check
which
the
is just,
stereotype, look beyond the stereotype.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, if someone already has their mindset about you, that this is the kind of person that you are, if I went into it in this industry that I'm in with that mindset as well, that I know that person is gonna, I wouldn't have survived. Being honest with you, that means that I had to challenge it. So let's say it depends where you are, then choose your battles. Where are you going to fight the stereotype? Where are you going? How do you live your life fighting stereotypes all the time, or do you? Because I've found that I've had to, like, even a stereotype of someone assuming because I have blue and pink color, it means this is the kind of person I am.
True.
Just
I get
showing
that.
up with. Because
Yeah.
people are like that. So it's like
They box everything.
everything.
Claire, do you think that in your industry, specifically animation, do you think that it is a good tool to drive in conversations and topics that are viewed as taboo in society and in our private spaces? Can animation do that? Challenge society, bring society up to par with its reality, and not just fantasize everything?
Absolutely. I mean, we get to travel a lot to different festivals. There's the largest one in the world, well, in the Western world, because remember, Asia's different. So the largest animation festival in the Western world is a place in Annecy. It's called Annecy. It's in the French Alps. And every June, they have this enormous festival where everyone from all over the world comes through, including South Africa. This huge animation delegation that goes. And I have seen, not just there, in Ottawa, in Canada, and in Asia as well. Yes, all these topics being addressed: sexual abuse, child abuse, women, transgender issues.
Okay, this is
all
through
of that.
animation.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's done
that's
because
interesting.
animation for adults is the fastest growing entertainment field in the world at the moment.
Take Family Guy,
Because of Netflix.
Seth MacFarlane.
I think I want to ask Claire a question. You mentioned that you don't have children of your own.
No.
However, you've been mentioning that you've had an extensive journey of traveling around the world. So I want to ask you a question of pregnancy versus career, especially since you're someone who worked in a cruise ship. You're always on the go. You didn't have time to go back home and relax and all of that. So if you were put in a position where you had to choose between your career and the child that you were carrying, what would have been your choice?
Okay, knowing how my life turned out,
Yeah.
I would say, actually, I can't put it in, I can't say. But for sure, if I had had a child, that would be my first priority.
And it would have been the end of your career.
No, it would have delayed my career, I think.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
it
it's
really
not,
does
would have not
depend.
actually been where it is now. Maybe there would have been like, like you said, delayed it.
Yes. Yes, because
but
it
not-
really does depend on the person and their determination.
Yes,
Yeah.
because some other people just would have given up.
Yeah.
But as
Like
as
Pearl.
Pearl said,
Yeah.
at 15, she still was determined to pursue.
Yeah.
As she had put it, that it's also not just a matter of a career with her, but a calling.
I mean, having a child,
Yeah.
what is it ultimately you want to teach them? At some point in your life, you want to leave something for them. You need a legacy for them.
Yeah.
And it's not just that they are your legacy.
Yeah.
You want to leave a legacy for them. You know, that becomes a double thing. So maybe with kids, if I had had a child, it would have been intensified. That even more.
We would have been
Okay, I
compelled
see.
to do more.
Yeah.
The urgency.
Yeah.
I would have done it much more
Yeah.
fast. I would have done it quicker.
In conclusion, guys, we just want to get to find out from Claire about this African movement in animation. On the it's a continental movement, right?
Yes.
In Africa. Please enlighten us on that.
As much as we were trying as a continent between us and between South Africa, Kenya, I would say Cameroon, Ghana, Nigeria, because Nigeria is a huge animation influence on the continent, nobody was honestly taking us seriously until Black Panther. We're calling it the Black Panther effect. Because honestly and truly, after that...
Africa futurism effect.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. But after going to so many, and we are pitching so many different concepts and ideas, it was about 3 years ago, I would say, between Annecy, which is the animation festival that happens in France, and then there's different animation markets that they have. Discop is the biggest. Cape Town Animation Festival is another.
Content, I think.
Yes. And there's the Zanzibar International Film Festival and the African International Film Festival, which happens in Nigeria. Yeah. And it was only about, I'd say, in the last 2 to 3 years that people have been taking us seriously. And now, oh my gosh, it feels like there's this explosion of different concepts and animation that we've been hearing about, especially in 2021.
Future.
Yeah. Disney has picked up the different, there's an anthology of 10 short films between different animators from all over Africa, mostly South Africa, which is great, but includes Kenya and Nigeria and different collaborations between them. So we're really excited to see what's going to come out of that. There are different, Cartoon Network has made a huge investment in different African, not just in picking up our products or picking up our projects, but also in investing in our infrastructure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like what you say now, just to back you up on that, recently I've had certain clients come, like since it's been the COVID-19 pandemic, and also whatever that's been happening, you would get people that would approach you that they want you to do a 5-minute advert or a minute advert that are outside of South Africa. So literally like the investment.
Venturing out.
Yeah.
And it's very exciting. I mean, we know that we are on the verge of announcing something with the international broadcaster as well. Lots of people I know in my animation industry are really, really close to signing deals. So it's a really exciting time.
That sounds like a very huge step, and I think there's so much that we need to look forward to from what you're actually telling us. And like really, Zama?
Yeah, that was an amazing show, VK. Interesting conversations. I think we've covered a lot of controversial and interesting topics that our viewers are glad to hear and get an understanding of, especially within the animation space. Thank you for joining us today on our amazing episode on animation. We were joined by Clare and Pel. It was absolutely interesting. Don't forget to join us next time, same place, same time, conversations through the grapevine.
Cheers.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.